Everybody, my summer is actively popping off. I hope yours is too. I have taken the liberty to compile a list of things that will make your summer 2022 and your life a little bit happier, a little bit hotter, and of course, a little wilder. Have some stuff on the calendar, baby, ready to go, something to look forward to. The summer's gonna pass you by, boom, snap, wake you up when September ends. It's so nice to have something to look forward to, so put something on the books, why don't ya? This summer when you're with your friends and family, put your goddamn phone down. This is the summer of eye contact, baby, so get comfy with it. Make sure you are never leaving the house without the 3 C's. Chewing gum, condoms, and confidence. No one wants to bang someone with a stank mouth, no rubbers, and who's also down on themselves. Do some affirmations and put your chin up, slugger. If you hear a good song, send it to your friends. Send it to your family. Send it to whoever you think might enjoy it. And if someone sends you a song, listen to it. What else are you doing? Your loved one loved you enough to send you a song they think you'd like and that might enhance your life forever? Hey, my guy, press play. Oh, and also stop staring at your phone when you walk. You're missing the world. There's other ways to get dopamine besides likes. Get that ass outside. But if you do go outside, wear sunscreen. If you insist on doing drugs this summer, be smart. If you insist on getting drunk this summer, stay hydrated. And if you insist on having unprotected sex with a stranger, it is wild, it is fun. But remember, you're playing with fire. There are only so many dice rolls you can roll before it's 7 out. So protect that box from monkeypox, and you'll be able to continue to have a cruel summer. And lastly, think before you speak. Is what you are about to say helpful or hurtful? I thought so. Those are all the tips I have for now. Happy Pride Month, everybody, and may you have the best summer yet. Duh. Welcome to the Rocky Rundown, where you get to learn a little bit about my week. Party God Squad, hello! Did you have a good week? I sure hope so. I hope you got an accurate fortune cookie. Maybe your crush randomly texted you, or you're just in a goddamn good mood. I hope it's all of the above. I know it's not technically summer just yet for all my calendar nerds listening, but it's close. It's so close that I went to a carnival on Thursday. If you've been rocking with me from the beginning, you know I love to lean into whatever it is I'm doing. Why do it if you aren't going to do it to it? So I do it to it. I told myself I wasn't going to complain about the prices of the carnival because I am abundant. I told myself I wasn't going to mention that the corn dogs are $4 unless you pay by card. Then in that case, the value of said corn dog jumps up 50%, equaling $6. And I said I wasn't going to mention how there was a maintenance issue on the Ferris wheel I was riding while we were on it. Hark! I look over to my right. We see a man climbing to the top to fix it. I'd be withholding if I didn't mention those fun facts about the carnival. But we had a lot of laughs. I have a serious question, and I hope I'm taken seriously when I ask this question. Where in the world do you find an inventor? I have 2 ideas. One is actually great, and I cannot share it with anyone who doesn't identify as an inventor. And the other idea is a device that allows you to pick up where you left off in your dreams. I got new bedding, so my dreams have improved in a big way, very vivid. And it's just a bummer that you can't pick up where you left off. I've been doing a lot of purging items and tidying up. It's kind of like a phase I fall into every once in a while, every couple of years. And every time I do it, someone new, someone cool, someone maybe I have sex with on a regular basis comes into my life without fail. Similar to how parents start nesting for a child, I'm nesting for someone entering my space and my lace. It's a little quirky, but always trust that your body knows something's coming before you do. Quick public service announcement. Stop the litter bugs. I was driving to Brooklyn yesterday, and along the highway, all I saw was trash. So who is it? Who's throwing their trash out of their car onto, I don't know, Mother Earth? A whole entire highway littered with your trash. That's disgusting, everybody. If you pass trash on your life path, it won't kill you to pick it up. And if you're grossed out by that, I'm not saying pick up a dirty gum wrapper off the floor, but if you see a plastic bottle and there's somewhere to dispose of it 10 feet away, pick it up and throw it out. If you're grossed out by me saying that, but you've also had your mouth on someone's genitals this week, grow up. I'm recovering physically. There was a baptism yesterday for the pride and joy of our friend group. And yes, the gang absolutely turned the fuck up. If your baptism receptions aren't lasting for 11 hours straight, repent, because you're doing something wrong. Anybody thought about Daddy Warbucks lately? Daddy Warbucks. Really break that name down. There's a subliminal message behind it. Warbucks. A father-like figure with the last name Warbucks, that's the person that's gonna save your life. Ugh. Listen, I know he was a good guy in the movie, but I don't think I like what he represents. I think I just cracked the code. And while we're on the subject of cracking the code, why are people in school when Google exists? Are people still learning trigonometry over taxes when the calculator is a thing? And you can literally figure out how to change a tire on YouTube? If they aren't allowing teachers to teach the real truth that they want to teach about America anyway, then why not just use school to learn how to read and write and socialize healthily? But I guess schools have other priorities these days. How are we going to teach U.S. history when we could literally become history at any minute? When I was in 8th grade, my health teacher would spend each class showing us a different episode of Seventh Heaven from the season when Mary, played by Jessica Biel, was a bad kid because she smoked pot. Meanwhile, the man playing the dad on that show was a real-life pedophile, and I'm over here avoiding weed till I was 19 and relying on the pull-out method because my sex education was influenced by the Camden family. My advice is less Mary, more Mary Jane. That brings us to Rocky's highest thoughts, my most stoned thoughts of the week. Number 1, it's annoying that America keeps operating against evolution. Low-key, the national anthem is my favorite shower song to sing, and I really want to be proud of us. Number 2, I texted myself the Eminem lyric, I have a disease and they don't know what to call it, but I hide your wallet at 4 a.m. on Thursday from my sleep. The ironic thing is, I do give a fuck. Number 3, graduation season is here, and I was thinking a lot about how when I graduated high school, my mom said, you can have a graduation party, or we can go to the Madonna concert. I've never regretted picking Madonna. Number 4, what's the queen's last name? Because I know that shit ain't the second. Number 5, I did in fact get high enough to Google Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's entire family lineage. I think he's a good guy. And number 6, I believe from the deepest core of my soul and all my heart that the song Big Energy by Lotto was released 3 months too early. My guest this week is musician Ernest Stewart. Ernest has traveled the world playing music, and he has the wild night stories to prove it. I'm so excited to welcome to our Party God Squad family, and I am so excited for you to enjoy his wild night story. And speaking of our Party God Squad family, I have 3 names for you. Rich Templeton, my very first ever guest on this show. Gary DeNoia, co-host of the podcast Listen Up and Fuggin' Listen. And Corey Easley, host of Corey Has a Podcast. All 3 of these guys are on the New York City sketch team Beverly. And this Saturday, June 11th at 7:30 p.m., they have a show at the Pit Loft in New York City, and tickets are $10. This show is going to be undeniably hilarious. So get your little butt over there. If you've been searching for well-priced hilarity on a Saturday night, then you gotta check out this show. If you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. You can follow me at Wild Nights with Rocky on TikTok and Instagram, at Wild Nights Pod on Twitter. If you want to watch extended interviews with all of my guests, please subscribe to my YouTube page. If you'd like to support the show with your wallet, you can become a Patreon member for $2 or $5 a month. Big shout out to everyone who's already joined the Patreon, and a big thank you and a future thank you to everyone who's written or is planning on writing a review on Apple Podcasts after the show. It really does make a difference. And now, please enjoy my Wild Nights conversation with Ernest Stewart. Ernest, welcome. Thank you for doing the podcast.
Hello. Good to be here.
Yes, I'm happy to have you. I just want to tell everybody listening right off the bat how we met, how we became fast friends. On my birthday, I was drinking at Minetta Tavern.
Yes.
With a couple friends. And there you were.
Being nearly accosted by two people making out at the bar.
yes. And me and John and my friend Jose, we were not those people, but there were people that were, kind of like, in your space there.
Yeah, it's kind of, I kind of felt like they were trying to rope me into what they were doing.
Hey man, it's New York City. Stranger things have happened. And so after that, we started talking, all four of us, we started talking, and you started telling some great stories. I found out that you were a musician, and I have not I've not interviewed a musician specifically on the episode. So I'm so honored to have you on.
Yeah, well, that's probably because musicians aren't nearly as funny as comedians.
but they're really cool.
Yeah, well, I think so.
I think
we'll see.
Yeah. Comedians are almost as cool as musicians.
Oh boy.
There it is. So Ernest's wild word was almost. Ernest, I'm dying to hear your wild night story. I know what a good storyteller you are from that one night at the bar. And now the Party God Squad is ready to hear your wild night story. So give us your wild night story almost.
So the story takes place, it's just a little bit of a backstory.
Mm-hmm.
I spent most of my adult life touring and did a ton of things in Europe. We would go on extended tours throughout Germany and the UK,
all those places.
So all of those places. And this one trip, I don't know what possessed me to do this. I think I was sort of tired of going on tour and kind of going through the same cycle of activities while you're on tour. I wanted to mix it up a little bit. So before leaving for a tour, we were doing a tour of the UK, and it was going to be, I forgot, like maybe only 1 week or 10 days.
Can you tell us who you were touring with?
Sure. I was on tour with a band from Brooklyn, actually, called Red Barat. And they're like this crazy North Indian Bhangra band mixed with New Orleans party brass band.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I was touring with them for like 6 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And we would always be in Europe and touring and go to different places. And so we're doing a trip to the UK, and my goal on this trip is to not say no.
Okay.
After shows, people come up to you and they have like all of these weird ideas for what you should do for the rest of your night. Yeah. And my goal was just to kind of go along with the flow.
Okay.
It's just kind of, it's kind of like, like what's the worst that can happen? Sort of
the
thing.
Year of yes.
Yeah. I wanted to go out every night. And
I love that.
Kind of just go, so it's not easy to do that. You get jet lagged and you get tired and all that shit. But I wanted to challenge myself to just go out every single night, no matter what city we're in, no matter how boring the city might be or exciting. Who knows? Just find something.
See. Yeah.
So I did, and I would end up in weird places. There was one night I was in like this super trashy nightclub where people were were like, dancing to like the super trashy Euro music. And
Okay.
yeah, they were
Do you
like,
remember where?
I cannot remember where.
Okay, so we all kind of blurred together.
Yeah, it got kind of blurry.
Mm-hmm.
I vividly remember this woman, this older woman in like leopard print pumps, like high heels,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and she was breakdancing in this club. And I'm like, woman, that's incredible. I've never seen
Yeah.
anything like, yeah, she's just out of nowhere. She just, everyone just made a circle around her, and she and her stilettos started breakdancing. I'm like, yeah, okay.
She's a local hero.
She is. Everyone apparently knew that what was going to happen, so they
Right.
formed a circle around her. I was surprised.
Mm-hmm.
There was another night I was in Manchester, and
Mm-hmm.
I somehow got talked into going to a weird sort of strip club type thing, but they weren't stripping. There were like only private rooms
Gotcha.
for lap dances, I guess. And I wasn't so much interested in that as much as I was interested in talking to the
Gotcha.
women that were there,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
giving lap
yeah.
dances. And it was hilarious because it was these women weren't from Manchester exactly. They were from somewhere outside of Manchester, but
Yeah.
I could the accents were so thick that I think my comprehension was some like hovering around 40% the whole
Right, right,
time.
right. You're getting every
So
other word.
every other word. They're like talking to me. They're talking to me, and I'm just like, huh? What was that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can kind of piece that together. Okay. And it was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
going on for like hours. And I'm just like, when are the like bouncers going to kick us out of here? Because we're clearly not here to get lap dances. And
Yeah.
like, and like the woman would like talk to me. And then like, I guess a client would come and she'll say, wait right here.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then she'll
yeah.
run off and do the lap dance and come back and talk to me some more. And, we'll be having drinks. And she'll be like, okay, wait right here, and just run off. And, like a lot
She
of
probably
weird
loved
stuff.
that. Yeah.
I guess so,
Yeah.
But yeah, just a lot of different environments that I found myself in. Um, so, I think I was I ended up in Newcastle upon Lyme, I believe the
Okay.
name of
Mm-hmm.
the town is. And
Nice and short
I
name.
yeah, yeah, I don't know what the thinking was behind that, but it
Okay.
existed. And again, I I kind of think the lamest thing you could do is just go to a strip club and hang out in strip clubs because that's it's kind of boring.
Well, you've never been with me. I have a good time at a strip club. Front row center, baby. Make it rain.
Well, okay, fine. But the energy you're bringing at a strip club is much different than like a bunch of
Gotcha.
like dudes like, oh my god, look at her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I have no
Basic ass
interest in
dude
this.
energy. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, yeah. I have no patience for this.
Gotcha.
So we ended up there, and I'm like, all right, I know I was offered an opportunity to come here, so I came, and I need to
Uh-huh.
figure out how to get out of this.
Right.
So I come up with some excuse, and I leave this club and try to walk back to my hotel. I ended up like I had no idea where I am. Like I've never
Mm-hmm.
even heard of this place,
Yeah.
Newcastle upon Lyme, or
Yeah. All you
and
know is you're upon line.
yeah, I am upon Lyme, and I'm trying to find my hotel, which is also upon Lyme, and I'm sort of walking by the road and somehow like through the woods and find this hotel.
Okay.
And I get to the hotel, and they're very welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it would be a shame if that was my only sort of like going out experience,
Yeah.
you know? And because it was kind of just lame and, stupid. So
Yeah.
I was like, I want to go somewhere else. So I find um, the front desk person, and I corner him in the in the in the door guy, and I'm like, look, I need you guys to tell me exactly where I need to be.
Yeah.
And yeah, and she was like, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like maybe the doorman,
Uh-huh.
So I'll go to the doorman, I'm like, look, I need somewhere to go. Is there anything happening around here? Like, I just see nothing but woods.
Right.
What's going on? And the doorman's like, yeah, actually, I do.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And he's like, look, I'm gonna call you a cab, and when the cab comes, just tell him to take you to the KFC. And I'm like, to where? KFC.
Okay.
You want me to go to KFC? Like Kentucky Fried Chicken. If you
Yeah.
didn't know this, England is full of KFCs. Like they love fried chicken over there. It's weird. Like a
Honestly,
weird obsession.
I feel I've only been once, but I didn't pick up on that. But that's all. I
Yeah,
ate only fish and chips when I was there. I was not very pleased with
right.
the food. Sorry to anyone from England listening.
I mean, it's kind of easy not to be pretty pleased with the
I just
food.
know next time I'll bring my own salt. That's it.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. There's like plenty of other things, but there's no salt. Why is there no salt?
Well, it's good to know for anyone traveling who may love KFC, England is the spot for you. So he says
England's the
that.
spot for you. Bring
Mhm.
your own salt, though.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Just bring your own seasoning.
Pepper
Um,
too.
Pepper, seasoning, hot sauce, everything. Just bring your own
Everything.
seasoning. Yeah, so I'm like, well, why the hell do you think I want to go to a KFC?
Yeah,
And the doorman's like, just go to the KFC.
trust me.
So I go to the cab that was waiting for me at the store.
Hmm.
And he's like, where would you like to go? I would do a really fucked up British accent, but I don't want to offend anyone.
Yeah, no.
And
We've already dissed the food, and
yeah,
we love you, England.
and and I'm like, all right, well, the door guy told me to go to KFC, and he's like, okay,
Cool.
and takes off
Okay.
into the night. So I have a few of my friends with me that we met up in the lobby with.
Yeah.
And they didn't hear the whole conversation, and they're like, "Why are you telling us to go to KFC? Like, why the hell are we heading to KFC?" And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have no idea.
Not believing. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no clue. Just let's go,
Mm-hmm.
And we stop. We get to the KFC, and it's closed. And I, look to the cab driver, and I'm like, "Sir, what is going on?
Yeah.
Why am I at a KFC that's closed?" And the cab driver says nothing and points to his right.
Okay.
And I look over to the right, and it's this whole like section of really shitty nightclubs and bars and filthy shit that is amazing. And
It's like
I'm
a
like,
scene,
I
a whole
made it.
scene. Yeah.
Yeah. I stepped out of the cab, and the first thing I noticed is this woman and her friends holding her hair, and she's puking this like pink
Yes, slush almost, right?
slush. Like,
Yeah.
like puke. This puke that I'm just like,
She's
oh
puking
my
out the
God.
fun.
Yeah, just like, this is incredible. This
Yeah.
is exactly what
I'm
I was
home.
looking for tonight.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I'm looking for tonight,
Yeah.
And we begin, sort of making our way from shitty club to shitty club and
Yeah.
shitty bar to shitty bar.
And they're all packed and live and full of energy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
just like full of energy, and you're walking down the streets, and you see they're like cop cars, or like paddy wagons.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the street is lined with them, like just
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, this place gets shitty,
Yeah.
and we have to arrest anyone, but we know what's up, like,
Yeah.
yeah. So obviously lots of things happen in this neighborhood,
Yeah.
and we're going around, and also one thing I noticed is when you're in Europe, generally people don't just drink drinks neat. Like if you have like a Jack Daniels, they always put stuff in it.
Okay.
And I always go to the bar, and I'm like, yeah, can I have a neat, drink? And the
Yeah.
bartender is like in disbelief that I actually don't want anything inside my drink. And it's confusing. But
Well,
I'm like, no, please do not put that Coke in my drink.
Yeah.
Please.
They're over there adding, adding flavor to the wrong shit. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, I'm gonna do it. And I'm like, no, don't do it. So I'm going around, I'm like begging bartenders not to put shit in my drinks. And, like it's just amazing arguing with people. And, it's just great time. So I end up in this club and, there's a loud DJ and, people dancing around, and drinking, and, it's fun. And I see a girl and her group of friends across the room. And I'm like, shit. Like, I want to go talk to her.
Yeah.
And I have like no idea how to make this happen because she's like surrounded. And I start scheming and thinking of different ways that I can approach this person. And I'm like, maybe I should, get my friends to sort of like move into their group and kind of, no, they don't, no, that's not going to work. There's just too many people, or maybe, So finally, the group kind of spreads out a little bit more. And like, I see like her best friend is kind of like hanging out over there. So my idea was, all right, if I can just go over there and talk to her best friend, maybe I can sort of like pivot over to, the girl and kind of just start,
make your way.
Make my way. And so I go over there and I start talking to this girl's best friend. And she is like utterly annoyed at my presence.
Gotcha.
Like wants nothing to do with this conversation that I'm trying to have or trying to, like, I don't know. She is not at all interested.
Wasn't,
I'm like, come on, like work with me here, like I'm just trying. I'm not really hitting on you. I'm trying to get over.
You're merely a door, lady.
You're a doorway to what I'm really after,
Yeah.
And a conduit, if you will.
Yes.
So and I'm like, okay, well, fine. I walked away and so I go back to my friends and I felt a tap on my shoulder. And I turn around and it's like this big British dude standing in front of my face. And he says to me, like, what is a guy like you doing talking to a girl like that? And I guess he was a part of the group and he was angry that I was talking to this girl. And he gets so angry that now we're like forehead to forehead. Like,
oh no.
It's like, all right, it's about to go down.
Yeah.
And I see my friends behind him grabbing like empty bottles from like tables. And, yeah.
They're ready to throw down.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, what? This is really?
Yeah.
And like, granted, prior to this exact moment, like I haven't gotten into many fights on the road.
Right.
I punched a Polish dude in his face once.
Okay.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
A weird night. He said some fucked up shit to me. And
yeah.
Passing. Like he said.
And he had to get knocked out. Sometimes you gotta knock
out. This is all I'm saying. He had like, I was walking through the central part of town.
Yeah.
And he was coming the opposite way. And I was with a group of Polish people who were taking me to like a jazz club. And this guy saw me walking with them. And as he was walking past, he said something in Polish. And I was just like, what did he just say? And they wouldn't tell me. And I was like, no, hold on. I need you to tell me what he just said.
Yeah.
And then they were like, no, let's just keep going. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'm just going to ask him what he said.
Yeah.
And like, I found him in like the center part of this town square, this Polish guy. And I confronted him. I just said, hey, like, I'm just a stupid American. I don't speak Polish. My bad. Like, can you just repeat what you said? I don't understand. Or can you say it in English?
Give me the quick translation, bro.
I need a quick translation because like, you're not going to just walk past me, say some weird shit and nobody.
Not tonight.
Not tonight.
Yeah. Because I'm not the one. Yeah.
I'm from Philly. Let's go. So he refuses to tell me. And like, then the people I'm with tried to, like break us apart. Cause at this point I'm kind of close to him. And, he tries to throw a punch at me while these like girls are in between us. And I'm like, who throws a punch while there's girls between us trying to break up a fight or whatever?
Yeah.
So I punched him in his face.
Okay. Well,
he deserved it. He
had to catch these hands. Yeah.
You had to catch like instant hands.
Yeah.
Add water, put it in the microwave for 160
Yeah.
seconds.
Put a little paper towel over it.
A little paper towel over it.
Mix it up and put it back in for 60 seconds. That's the Philly way.
Instant hands. You never heard of instant hands? It's great. So I'm sitting there, I digress, of course.
Your friends are grabbing bottles just in case.
My friends are grabbing bottles, like breaking them over tables, like trying to like, let's go, and I'm forehead to forehead with this big British dude. And it's like, all right, well, here we go. You go to that place mentally when you're about to get into a fight and start fucking each other up. And, and in that moment, I realized that the streets outside were lined with paddy wagons.
Yeah.
With those police vehicles just waiting for this like shit like this to go down.
And isn't it like, I feel like with American police officers, we're used to the sirens, and we know it's like usually a lot of the time with police sirens, it's like they're just trying to get through a red light. They're putting them on to go through a red light. But there's something, and I'm not saying I like the sound of American police sirens. That's not where I'm going with this. But what I'm saying is there is something a little menacing about the of the British sounding police officers,
Right.
Anyways, so you realize they're outside
because in like, and I also realized that I have like no clue where my hotel. Like I couldn't tell you the name of my hotel.
Yeah.
Like I have no idea what's going on. I walked from the strip club through the woods to get to this hotel. Like I have no idea what the name is. I have no idea what the address is. I have nobody's number. We're all in Europe anyway, and all of our people have Americans. So who even?
What about the friends that you're with? They don't know the hotel either?
No, it's like there's no time for that. I mean, when you're touring like that, you're just going next hotel, next hotel, next hotel,
and everyone's just trying to have a good time.
Yeah. So it was just like if I get locked up, I'm in there. Yeah. I'm going to be a British prisoner for for a while. Yeah. If not the rest of my life. So
not worth it. Not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just like wait a second. We can't fight. Yeah. I got to get out of this fight. And as if God has sent a messenger by the name of Eve.
Won't he do it?
By the name of Eve, EVE. The DJ puts on Tambourine by Eve.
Oh. That's not the one. Oh no, I'm thinking Reload.
Like, shake the tambourine, take the tambourine.
Yeah.
And
get yourself. I always say, get yourself some Ritalin. Get yourself some Ritalin.
Yeah. And as soon as that song comes on from my Philadelphia sisterin, Eve, I put my hand up and I start shaking my tambourine. Yeah. With this guy like face to face with me. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
And I start dancing with him like, I got the tambourine. And he's like,
I don't want any of this. I'm not dancing with you.
I don't want anything to do with this.
Right.
And as soon as he backs away, I tell my guys, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
And we make it back home. And
thank
that's
God.
My story. Yes.
Woo. And you know what? I gotta say, that was wild. I loved it. I'm glad you're okay. I will say this. I knew it was going towards Fightville. I knew it. I could sense it. In the middle of the story. I was like, once you hit that bar scene, I was like, oh no, this is gonna, even before you told the Polish guy hitting you, or you hitting him rather, I knew. I was like, this is gonna be a fight. So I'm glad you came out unscathed. And I'm glad you're fun enough to be like, yeah, we need a better scene. Let's get down to the scene.
Right. And I think that there's always like, I would never forget like being so confused about where we are, and like a North Star, that woman stumbling out of that bar and puking.
Yeah.
And it was just like, that's
my people.
That's my people. On this tour, that is my people. And that's exactly what I deserve to be around.
Yes.
So I am going over there, and we're going to have an amazing evening. And we did, for all intents and purposes, have an incredible night, you know?
That's cool. How far was this? And I know you were you were saying you didn't know what was what there, but about how far would you say this was from London?
Oh, shit. It's a while, because we went from south to north.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So this was, I actually, that's a really good question. I should do a quick like geography.
I'm only curious because my time when I was in London, one of the things that I found annoying was how early things were closing. Like the subway closed at midnight, and then the bars were starting to close at midnight. There was if you were doing something in the evening, like say you started at like 7, there was no chance of anything going till 3.
Right.
And when I'm on vacation like that, especially I went 6 years ago. If I'm on vacation like that, I'm trying to party. So
yeah, and
it was hard to do.
It's a different hangover there. You kind of have to get used to, you know, all of these different types of environments.
Yeah,
you know, Berlin is really great, and you can stay up all night there.
Berlin, put it on the list.
Yeah, talking about know how to party. Me and some friends were out one day trying to, like, we just got to town and we were exhausted, like it's just exhausted, but we just wanted to go to get like a falafel around the corner, you know.
Yeah.
And we found this falafel spot, and it was like seriously like just like your typical shitty falafel stand.
Yeah.
You know. And we went inside this place, ordered some falafel, you know, and within like 10 minutes of us being there, some dude comes in and he starts unpacking his gear, and he like unpacks like lighting and like a DJ table. And it's this incredible like salsa night that is happening in this
just out of nowhere.
Yeah, and they were like, yo, yeah, what is it? It's Tuesday. We got salsa nights on Tuesdays.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it's like this random. So people start coming in dressed like really well.
Yeah,
like, you know, like ready to go. And I'm like, yo, Berlin, yeah, get it, man.
They get it. I'm gonna put that on the list.
Berlin
now,
definitely should be on your list.
Let me ask you this. So you're very well traveled. You've toured quite a bit. Do you have anything on the horizon now that people can look forward to?
That's a very good question. Besides some shows here or there, you know, I have this weird sort of administrative side of my work. I have a jazz festival that I've created and have run for nearly 10 years now.
And where is that at?
It's in Philadelphia.
Okay.
The festival isn't coming up, but because of my work with the festival, I've been doing more stuff around town here in New York. And I've been asked to do some really interesting things with some festivals coming up, and actually partnering with a local museum for a curation sort of exhibit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but since none of these things are in stone, like 100%, I can't say anything about it, but I wish I could, because they're really cool and I'm looking forward to them.
Well, when they do come up, you'll give me the info. I'll share it on the Wild Nights page. And then anybody who's in, if this is in the New York area, anyone in the New York area can check it out. But if it's elsewhere, if it's in Philly or wherever you have the next festival that you're behind, I will share it on my end so people can check it out. And this was just such a fun conversation. This was such a fun story. You are such a fun person. And I would love it if you told everybody where they could follow you to keep up with you. And give us your social media.
I am at Only Ernest because I am the only Ernest.
Only Ernest.
And no one knows another Ernest. Let's face it.
I'm going to be honest with you. And I'm sorry out there to any other Ernest that I am wrong in saying this about. I don't think I know another Ernest.
It's impossible.
And I'm being earnest when I say that.
Oh, boy. How are your friends doing, by the way?
They're doing fantastic.
They were really nice to me when we met.
They're wonderful. And they're doing great. And I will definitely let them both know that you said hi. And you'll have to let us know when something's going on in the future that we can come, either that you've put together or that we can come watch you in. Tell everybody what instrument you play.
I play trombone.
Trombone. Not an easy instrument.
No, and I did not want to play the trombone when I first got it. I got stuck with it.
Isn't that the story of every trombone player? We need a trombonist. You're gonna do it.
Someone has to do it. Let's go.
And they said,
one of you kids.
Only Ernest is up to the job. Listen, you stick with me, you're gonna get puns all day. I could do puns all day, but Ernest, I want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, this was such a wonderful conversation. I'm so happy that your story was so great and that you were willing to share it with me. And I thank you so much for doing the show. Thanks for having me. Absolutely. We will chat soon, okay? All right. All right. Bye.